Daniel and welcome to this new video from Instrument Mastery. Today I'm going to share a little bit about how fear of failure prevents you from learning your instrument. You are unlikely to have identified this fear, but it's likely to be there. And it prevents you from successfully learning your instrument. So most likely you're not aware that you have this fear, but it's very important to identify this fear to be able to learn your instrument, to never give up, to keep on going. And yes, it's so important to even be able to learn your instrument. So keep on watching. Our brain is made for survival, not to be happy. Fear has been very important for throughout the human existence for our survival. It has kept us safe and secure, and yeah, we've been very careful about everything, big and small, and yeah, to avoid any potential danger. It's been a very successful strategy because we're here today, aren't we? So yeah, we have survived, and it's been very beneficial, and it still is very beneficial in many ways, but in the modern world is less and less important and creates a big amount of pain as well. The fear prevents us from having the courage to take a chance and to make a step forward towards happiness and joy. Often does fear prevent us from doing fun things that are 100% safe. The fear of failure is a bit complicated because it consists of several other kinds of fear. One of the fears is social fear. So it's part of the fear of failure. We fear failure because we fear how it will look to other peoples. You fear they will think that you are playing bad, that you don't have enough progress, that you will afraid they don't like your style, or afraid that they would expect more from you than you can deliver. All this is part of this social fear. You'll probably think, I don't care what others think, because that's what we're thought to think. But you probably do care. Somewhere deep inside you, you actually do care. And it can often be an unconscious thing, but yeah, it's not stupid. It could sound a little stupid, but it's not stupid because it's natural. So we care about what others think of us, but the fear is unnecessary because the other persons are just happy for us, happy that we have something to do that we love. And how hard you'll work on it and how much time and money you will use to get better, that's your choice, and the people around you respect that. Most likely they know nothing about how hard or easy it is to learn that instrument anyways. So when you play for others, they will know nothing about how much you have practiced and how the practice sounded like. So therefore they are not too hard to impress, as long as it sounds good. The next part of fear of failure is the fear of underperforming. This is a fear closely related to social fear, but I wanted to cover this separately. As I said, as long as it sounds good. And that's the key of this fear. You are the only one that has been fully present through your practice. You know about your struggles, what this should sound like, and what you play wrong. When performing for others, you'll also notice every single minor mistake you do. Because you're the one playing. But the people listening would often not even recognize those minor mistakes. If you play something wrong, even just a couple of minor mistakes, you'll probably feel it didn't go well, that you messed up everything. But the listener would have a whole and another perspective. They won't focus on this minor mistakes. That's just in your head. The listener will focus on how great it sounds overall. And if they hear any of the mistakes at all, they'll know that everyone can play wrong, no matter how good they are, because we're humans. And they just hear everything else that is beautiful that you are playing. So the important thing is never beat yourself up for playing wrong. You are the only one that care about the small mistakes you do in your play. It's all in your head. It's destructive thoughts and fear, the fear of failure. A more covered or hidden part of the fear of failure is the fear of exploring our abilities. Part of the fear of failure is often that fear of knowing our true self, our abilities, how talented we are, or should I say, the lack of talent. So, have you ever got a mail, a letter in your mailbox or digitally, but don't want to open it because you have a bad feeling about it, about that it might be bad news? A letter from the hospital, a letter from a company you know you have forgotten to pay, or an answer for an application. Probably the letter is good news, or not as bad as you thought, but because of the fear of finding out there is bad news inside, you inflict pain to yourself by delaying it. Because your brain think the pain of not knowing is smaller than the pain of finding out of the bad news. Someone I know had pain, but avoided to go to the doctor because she was afraid it would be something serious. And it's completely irrational, but that's how our brain works. It's a bit like that when you're trying to learn a new instrument as well. You want to learn it, you really want to learn it, but you fear that you don't have the talent. That you're not able to learn it that well, and that you'll find out you're getting too old, or finding out you're not good enough. You're afraid to find out whatever it is. This is rarely an unconscious thing. This is most likely unconsciously covered by an endless stream of excuses. You'll never tell yourself, I'm avoiding this because I'm afraid to find out this and that about myself. You're covering it with, I can do it tomorrow, or this isn't the right time, or I won't disturb the other people in the house, or I should save up money for a teacher before trying. And about that, you will probably not ever have saved up that money, and then you will never start. So it's so many bad excuses for not starting or not practicing, and it's difficult to see the root of this, but the fear of exploring your abilities is often central thing, aspect in all of this. And this is just a few examples. There's thousands of bad excuses we make for ourselves. So yeah, there's no limits for what excuses we make. The last fear within the fear of failure topic I will cover today is the fear of the unknown. This is a fear that limits us a lot, because things that are unknown has a potential for failure, and we fear that. The fear of the unknown is something we face often throughout our life, in every area of our life. Every time we should do something we've never done before, we create a lot of limiting beliefs that that we cannot do it. It doesn't need to be hard. The problem is that we don't know if it's hard or not. Since we don't know, we assume that it's hard, and if we try, it might be difficult for the first couple of times, but most things in life are easy when we're used to it. When we're new to it, it just seems overwhelming, and we're afraid for doing anything wrong because there are so many unknown aspects. For many people, even changing tires on a car is unthinkable. It's such an easy task, but everything about it is unknown when you have never done it before, because we haven't learned anything about it yet and never tried. We're afraid to do something wrong and lose the wheel around the first corner. It's questions like, what tools? How hard is it to unscrew? How hard to tighten? Can I over-tighten it? Where to place the jack? What if the car fell down from the jack when doing the change? How much air pressure should the tire have? How to fill? How to get all the old tires clean? There is a lot of unknown things for such a simple task, and then you can imagine the more harder thing in life, how we adapt ourselves completing those tasks that we have never done before. And because of the fear of the unknown, a lot of people never change the tire by themselves. But by doing it a couple of times, it becomes easy. So, face the fear of the unknown and be curious and willing to explore. Even though the unconscious fear prevents a lot of people from learning, it is not dangerous to learn a new instrument. And you can safely work on turning the known into known and build yourself up rather than fearing that you're not talented or good enough, and what others will think of you. The fear of failure prevents a lot of people from going all in and give it an honest try. If you ask me, that's the only true failure. If you have gotten comfortable about what other people think and are not afraid for finding out that you don't have the talent, and work yourself around the fear of the unknown, you have done everything you can. If you should find out that an instrument isn't for you, you haven't failed. You have not failed. You have learned. You have succeeded because you have faced the fears and you have grown as a human being. And most likely you are talented enough to be able to learn the instrument to a level where it is fun to play and you find yourself comfortable. This is, by the way, relevant for a lot of situations in life, way beyond learning a new instrument. This is very good knowledge. All I've talked about now is very good knowledge for everything in life. I hope you got a lot of great value from this video because it's such an important topic. This topic is make or break if you're going to ever master your instrument. And for even more great tips and tricks to get even to the next level with yourself on the way to mastering your instrument, subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell beside the subscribe button to get notified when there's new videos available. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm as well. So yeah, comment below if you have topics you want me to cover. Until next time, bye!